Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 466. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
We are back on YouTube, live.
And on Twitch.
And on Twitch.
Yes. Carlos Romero.
Yo.
And Brett Murdoch.
What up, people?
All right, as Manny said, we are back, baby. Our 2 weeks is over, so we are back for the rest of the year. You're stuck with us. No breaks until the end of the year, you know? And as Manny also said, yes, we are now being able to stream on YouTube and Twitch. Twitch kind of loosened its rules a little bit, so we're back, you know? So, Barry, that's double the work for you with fucking moderation, you know? But it's all good. You know, we are back with another one. No Chris action, no Adam action, probably no Brian action, but it's all right, you know.
There's a bug going around, man.
There is a bug with something going on. Even your boy caught a bug, you know. It didn't stay very long, but I got it too. I was like, what the fuck?
Bro, I got it before Christmas. Whoa.
Yeah.
Fucked me up for a good 2 weeks.
Shit. Not good, man. No es bueno.
No bueno.
Yeah, but the surviving members of Throwdown are here, you know, and we'll be talking about video games. So since we were off for 2 weeks, we're not only going to cover the stuff that happened this week, but also everything else that's been happening while we were gone. One specific story that every gaming journalist decided we can't touch. Throwdown would have been all over this shit, so we're going to do it tonight, you know. It'll be the second story, but first we got to pay our respects, man. First story here, Mr. Bobby Kotick has departed Activision.
Finally.
About time, you know.
Finally, this guy.
We've been talking about this forever. Like we were like, as soon as this whole thing started going, I was like, you know he's going to go and he's going to get the fattest golden parachute, which he did, obviously, you know. So yeah, no surprise there. It's about time. Listen, the whole reason Activision even like sold itself was because of the mess that it found itself in. Not least of which was Bobby Kotick's antics. Man, you heard some crazy stuff about this guy. Didn't he threaten to kill somebody or something? Some nutty stuff. But check this shit out. I'm reading this from IGN. So he has been serving as the CEO of Activision for 32 years.
Damn.
There's motherfuckers listening to the show that aren't this old. That is crazy. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
He's like a fucking congressman. He just stays there, you know? But yeah, he's gone. Yeah, he started in 1979. Wait, hold on. Let me read this, because I don't think that's consecutive, I guess. I'm reading from IGN. In a note sent to employees and publishers, and published on the Activision Blizzard newsroom, guessing that's their blog, Kotick reflected on his long tenure running the publisher. Kotick has overseen Activision through over half its lifespan, having become CEO just 12 years after its founding in 1979. Okay, so
damn,
crazy. You know,
that's crazy.
He oversaw the company through numerous transformations, including the start and ultimate success of the Call of Duty franchise, the Guitar Hero era, the rise and fall of the toys to life genre. Remember that shit? Activision's merger with Vivendi, I almost forgot about that one, to become Activision Blizzard, and that's why. And later Candy Crush acquisition, and obviously Microsoft bought them last year. In case you haven't heard that story. You know,
wait, Microsoft bought them?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I know it kind of went under the radar, you know.
Dude, that's nuts.
Yeah,
but also it doesn't seem to impact much, so I don't really care.
Yeah. Father son's like, did I miss some Xbox toast? Don't worry, there's a reason we're calling the episode that, you know. But yeah, I don't have anything nice to say about Bobby Kotick. Guy was scum.
He's the scum.
Yeah, he's a scum. You know. Yeah, I don't have anything that he's fucking scum.
Literally the video game version of Harvey Weinstein. That's what that guy was.
Yeah. I mean,
now you look at that guy. You look at that guy's skeevy ass history.
Oh yeah, no, he's straight up a piece of shit.
No, he's garbage, that guy. Also, by the way, and those two had a little bit of connections here and there, but do businesses and stuff. So
Oh, him and
God,
Harvey
really?
Weinstein.
yeah, they both of them had like different things. I mean, like it's so crazy how like they were all like weirdly connected in a few different things. So it's insane. But yeah, so might as well be the same person.
Yeah. I thought you were going to go somewhere different when you said.
When
you said look at him, it's like he looks like him.
No, there was an interview with him. I can't remember how long ago it was, but he is actually aware that people think he's the devil.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
I mean, we all know the stories. Well, we know so many stories, but also every year there was like the Activision laid off 10% of their staff. Meanwhile, Bobby Kotick got even a bigger raise this year.
Yeah,
so he was infamous for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was true.
Just not a good person, man. I don't know anybody is gonna miss him. But yeah, good riddance. I'm happy he's gone. And hopefully Activision can move on and continue doing or do better things than they used to.
Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
That's it, man. All right, let's get into the controversy, man. So while we were on break, there was a huge Insomniac leak, and the way it happened was fucking crazy, right?
Tony, we don't talk about this.
Yeah, apparently not, but we're gonna get into that too.
It's like Bruno.
Yeah. So, and you guys, correct me if I miss any details here, but apparently some hacker, was it a hacker or a hacker group?
Yeah, it was a hacker group.
So a hacker group, got into Insomniac's files and they ransomed it. It's like, pay us whatever amount of money and we'll give you your shit back. Insomniac said no, so they fucking just leaked everything. And oh boy, was it a leak. We saw everything, like pretty much their entire gaming slate for like the next like 8 years or something.
Yeah,
and not only that, but like how much money they spent on these games. The fucking remaster, the PS5 remaster of Spider-Man cost like $50 million. A fucking remaster,
And the reasoning is mostly because of Marvel's licensing fee on top of it. I can't remember what it was. There's maybe a few slides about it, but there's like, they tell you how much Marvel takes away. They tell you how much Sony gets, and they tell you about, it literally breaks down everything. Cause what it looked like was a financial report, maybe an internal one. And there was just all of it was all laid down, in front of everybody. Like, how much their operation costs are, what they're setting aside for future development currently. So it's a lot of stuff. There's even some stuff about like how their hiring and firing situation is, like, because so much is going out, they have to sort of cut costs in certain areas to try to make these things happen. Just because that Marvel takes so much money from for the licensing fees off of those games. So, like they were talking about, like, it was like it said like new IP, and then it says Ratchet and Clank, and it said like Wolverine, and how what they needed to do to essentially jigger people around to try to keep them. He also not make such a huge dent in letting go people where they lose knowledge, because this, the guy who runs Insomniac is he pretty much started the company, so he knows what and he's come through essentially making games, and he knows the usefulness of having senior people around. Unlike some companies who essentially say, okay, now you got to cut the fat, and they just randomly start cutting a bunch of people out that know shit.
Yeah.
But he's just sort of talking about how difficult it is to make those sorts of decisions. There was a lot of insight into how the process goes. it's unfortunate that it happened that way, but I think, on another sense, it also gives people a better idea as to what goes into making a AAA game.
Yeah,
like a Spider-Man or a Wolverine.
You have to see how the sausage is made, basically.
Exactly. Yeah, like because again, nobody talks about that, like what your operation costs. Like obviously internally, yeah, you know what your operation costs are, but you don't. None of that stuff gets revealed. You only hear just a number. Oh, hey, this game made this.
Yeah. I want to read some of this. By the way, and again, the story is a lot to unpack here. So I'm reading the story, not from IGN, not from GameStop, not from Kotaku, not from Game Informer, not from any gaming website. I'm reading this from TMZ. Why am I reading this from TMZ? Because no gaming outlet covered this shit. We're going to get to the reason why, but let me read this first. Ransomware group Residia were able to gain access to over 1.3 million files, accounting for nearly 1.7 terabytes of data, which included maps and even gameplay from the Marvel-inspired video game. He's talking about Wolverine here. Dates for future releases, including Spider-Man 3, were also amid the leaks, which even exposed the personal information of some Insomniac employees. I want to end right there because of that last point. That's why a lot of gaming websites and reporters, whatever, said, we don't want to talk about these leaks because personal information was put out there. Okay, don't talk about the personal information then.
Yeah, talk about the other stuff.
Yeah, you can't sit on your moral high horse, when you talk about leaks all the time and then decide, no, we're not going to talk about this leak. That would be unethical.
Okay, hold on. There's a middle bit here that I want to throw in to kind of clarify, put a point on this. Not only did people not talk about it, but they for some reason, like the general fucking journalism hive mind decided to try and shame people who did want to talk about it and be like, this is something that we don't do. We don't talk about this. Like, we don't feed those trolls.
Yeah.
To which, we're all sitting here being like, the fuck you don't. I've seen it.
They do it all the time.
Here's another situation. During the wasn't there a leak with Grand Theft Auto, and they talked about that leak. There was another leak that happened with what was it? There was a Nintendo leak that was a while ago, and they talked about all of that. So, what is the difference between talking about all those previous leaks and not to mention Capcom's big leak that happened with Capcom? So what's the deal? Why is Insomniac a different situation than all of these other cases?
Yeah, I'm going to read.
Also, people's informations have been lost. All
that. Remember when E3, when all our personal data got leaked? That got covered, didn't it?
That got covered.
I want to read something Ace Ali said, because what he said here is the reason they gave, and then I'm going to have a rebuttal to this. Gaming journalists didn't want to talk about that stuff because they'd effectively be rewarding the ransom group. For a developer to slip of the tongue, that's a leak. To have information stolen and held at ransom, that's not a leak, that's criminal. Yes, it is criminal, but it doesn't prevent you from talking about it if you're a fucking reporter. It doesn't make you a criminal for talking about it. That is your job. You're a reporter. Report. So I just find this so shady. And again, every single big entity decided we're not going to talk about this. And again, for the record, if Throwdown had been on that night, as usual, we absolutely would. It would have been the main fucking headline for us.
It would have been.
Are you kidding me? This is huge, and you're not going to talk about it. But
not to mention all the pre-alpha footage that you saw, Wolverine that showed up all over the place. Like, do you even hear who the voice is of Wolverine? At least maybe it might be a temp voice, but it sounds like Steve Bloom is the voice of Wolverine.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of that. Yeah, no, all that stuff is worth reporting. It is huge. You can't just be like, no, we're not going to talk. And let's just be real here. Let's just be real. A lot of these guys are cozy with Insomniac. I'm just being real. They're cozy with Insomniac. They didn't want to upset him. Let's just be honest here.
I mean, that is a thing. Like, like in other words, maybe they want to who knows? That maybe they're. I don't know. I don't think they threatened them.
You're a reporter. You report the news. It's that simple.
Yeah, I mean, like there's like you can talk about a bunch of different things. Like maybe you don't want to talk. Okay, maybe you don't want to talk about the Wolverine thing, but you could also talk about the implications of stuff. Like again, like I saw maybe one article about previously about what what behind the scenes stuff. About a lot of this stuff. So it's like. Like again, it's very interesting information that at least if you wanted to look at it on that end, because again, we don't know how much a place like Insomniac is paying out, or Sony is paying out to Marvel.
Yeah,
and then it also makes you think. It also makes you think like how much and they even put a number on it, like how much they need to make in order to at least make a profit out of all the money that's being taken out of there. And to be honest, the number sounded very similar to what Square Enix said about Tomb Raider.
Yeah, that's a lot. Real quick here, another thing. Hackers reportedly demanded a healthy ransom as a trade for not making the material public, but Insomniac opted not to pay the nearly 2.1 million or 50 bitcoins. Fucking stupid.
It's a weird one.
When the clock struck midnight on Tuesday, Residia push published, and the internet was flooded with the leaked, albeit mostly incomplete footage, which revealed massive spoilers. So and then some other shit happened. Apparently, somebody took all the data from Wolverine and made it into an Xbox game or some crazy shit like that. Made it run on an Xbox.
There was some code that was also in there. Maybe a build that was in there.
Some wild shit,
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the list of all the games that got leaked too, because it's like, yo.
I remember a friend of mine who's in net security talk. I'm like, how did something like talk to? I asked him like, how could something like this happen, especially with? Could it be because a lot of people are working remotely and those lines are insecure? And he goes, well, you know what? It really could be. It could just be somebody who's not like directly connected with the development of the game, that has like a weak password or answered something or did something else that they were not supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it literally opened the door to everything.
Ace Ali says there's a difference between reporting the news and researching every detail of every piece of information contained within a story. I'm not saying reporters should discuss every single detail of the Wolverine game. I'm just saying the Wolverine game got fucking leaked. That's a news story, man. By the way, real quick, I want to go run through this. Manny, this is something you actually posted in our Throwdown room here. Again, some games we never even heard of. We didn't even know were in development. There's a Venom game coming in 2025. Yep. Wolverine is dropping in 2026. 2028 is when we're getting Spider-Man 3. Ratchet and Clank, 2029. And then X-Men game. X-Men in 2030. That is fucking wild. So we kind of joked about this, like, oh, is Insomniac going to turn into the Marvel studio? Yeah, they kind of did.
It seems like
kind of did.
Yep. With a little Ratchet,
little bit, just throw it in there.
I mean, here's the thing: it is to their benefit that also Ratchet and Clank games don't take. I think it also gave a budget for a Ratchet and Clank game, and Ratchet and Clank games are not nearly the same amount of budget as it would be for a Spider-Man. Any of the Marvel games.
I got to say, this TMZ report is very well done. 300 words, right to the point, no bullshit. This is how you report on it. They didn't talk about any other people's personal information. They said, hey, this happened. They asked for this money. Here are the games that are dropping. Craziness. Like, this is good reporting. Good on you, TMZ. This is actually a good report, I guess I have to go leave a game website to actually find good reporting, huh? Fucking crazy, man. They even discussed the Sony hack in 2014. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody remembers that. But yeah, obviously, all that shit is subject to change. But crazy shit, man. Crazy shit. What a way to end the year, right? Because that happened pretty much like the last week of December.
Yep.
Nuts. All right, next story. Yeah, what's up, Carlos? If you got something to add.
Ace Ali says, because Insomniac wasn't ready to announce any of that, the ransom group wins by spoiling all the stuff so many years ahead of time. News outlets largely understood that they aren't the people to announce those projects.
The reporters, it's their job, man. That is their job.
All the time.
Yeah,
literally all the time.
Yeah.
That happens in everything, whether it's in politics, whether it's in movies. Whether it's like, so and so is might be signing for this character in this big movie.
What's his name? Wolverine is going to be in the new Deadpool film.
And then Deadpool, everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, they're talking about all those leaks about that one. So it's like,
this happens all the time, man.
Again, like Capcom had it, all these other what makes
what about that Nvidia leak, boy? That shit is still given.
Oh yeah, or the Nvidia leak, or the CD Projekt Red one that got swept under the rug eventually too.
Yeah, but again,
remember that one?
Yeah. Again, it doesn't matter if the leaks weren't ransomware. That is literally irrelevant.
The CD Projekt Red one was a ransomware.
Yeah,
so.
that was ransom. Yeah, that was.
But what about the Rockstar one?
That was also ransom, and those were reported on.
Yes, and those were reported on. So what's the difference?
Yeah, no, these guys are just full of shit, man. They're full of shit.
Is it because it's like, again, like none of these people were ready to none of these companies were ready to do this. People's personal information did get out into the wild. All the same situations. So what now? It's different because it's Capcom?
Insomniac.
No, I'm talking about Capcom.
Oh yeah,
like Capcom had a leak too, a ransomware leak too. So what's the difference? They reported about that one.
Well, they're probably not as cozy with Capcom as they are with Insomniac.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's like there should, obviously there is a difference, and it's obvious. What it seems to be what the difference is maybe because they have some sort of connection to it, or maybe I don't know. Some studios are afraid that the court will get cut from them if they do report on certain things like that. I don't know. Let's say a situation like what happened with Kotaku years ago, where they talked about a certain league, and then they did not get a certain Call of Duty game.
Yep. So I think that's at play.
Maybe I think the reason why they're protecting it in general and all of that information is because they don't want to be the one company that doesn't get get the exclusive or get an early copy or anything.
Yeah.
But that just shines a pretty harsh light on a flaw in the system. Like here's where too many thoughts at once. So there is a very reasonable reason why this happens. It is very understandable when you account for human nature, as Manny just explained. But a lot of people, and I'm not saying Manny is, I'm just highlighting a problem with discussion in the community. A lot of people take it there, and they're like, these kinds of things happen, man. The system's a little weird. And then everybody just kind of goes like, yeah, well, it is what it is, and breaks away from it. We need to have a very frank discussion about why this is the way that it is. And I know that I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but there's a book called Freakonomics, which has a really good point in it of looking at people and companies' motivations, and looking at motivations oftentimes kind of explains their actions.
There's also like if you guys are in our Discord, I actually posted a really good video by a YouTube channel called Moon Channel. If you guys ever watch them, they do a lot of really good analysis of the different things. And this specific video was literally about the idea of, and this goes somewhat along with what we're talking about too, as far as financials and all that sort of stuff. And essentially going in and saying, okay, why in a record-breaking year of video games, why are we getting massive layoffs? And it's because, obviously, because these companies are acting more like tech companies than video game companies. But it's a very interesting one. But it's all along the same lines of what Brett's talking about.
Yeah. So, crazy fucking story.
Yep.
All right, speaking about hackers. So the 18-year-old GTA 6 hacker, remember when that happened? Everybody reported on that too, by the way. It's getting that out there. So he's been sentenced. Stick with me, guys. He's been sentenced to life in a hospital. Now,
that's so ambiguous. It's like
he's been sentenced to life not in prison,
in a secure hospital.
In a secure hospital,
in a padded room. What the fuck?
Brett, go off, man, because this is some fucking 1984 shit. You know,
dude, this is some cyberpunk dystopian megacorp thing. Like, you fucked with the wrong company, and they just fucking disappeared you. That shit is objectively horrifying. Like, now put this in context from what I've heard. This dude had a very strong problem. He probably is mentally unwell, and he like compulsively hacks. And that he managed to hack into Rockstar without even using a computer. He was fucking, what is like a Chromebook stick or whatever one of those fucking internet sticks are, his phone, and a TV. Motherfucker breached Rockstar with that shit.
Jeez.
So
that's some Kevin Mitnick type of shit right there.
and that's what I'm saying. So their whole thing is like, you know, this dude is mentally unwell. Like, so it's possible. It is entirely possible this dude is one of those guys that is a savant because of an underlying illness. But at the same time, you tell me motherfucker can do that shit. You caught him and you put him in a secure hospital for everybody's safety. My ass doesn't fucking believe you. Like, he's just too dangerous. He's too dangerous to them to roam the streets. So they just circumvented the entire legal process, right? Like, they don't have to find him guilty or anything like that. They just circumvented all that by flexing and putting this motherfucker in a hospital.
Yeah.
Where he is guarded 24 hours a day for the rest of his life. What world do we live in? Holy fuck. All right, I'm done. Just
yeah, no,
wow.
it's wild, man. Carlos, go ahead, because I want to read some of this shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, what he did should be punished. It just seems like, I don't know. I don't know the specifics, so I can't really say one way or the other. But damn, that's all I gotta say. Damn. And by the way, do hospitals have computers? Gotta be careful.
They probably
Good
can't
Lord,
let
that's
him
the big sentence.
They can't let him get near any sort of it's sort of anything.
Yeah. Barry says most people can't even get the Amazon Fire Stick to work normally. This kid is a potential Bond villain.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like a tech mutant, like an X-Man.
Yeah, well,
like in other words,
yeah, it says right here he's autistic, so that explains everything. You know, some of those guys can be like savants and shit. You know,
does it really though? Like,
it goes to what you were saying, savant. So there you go. You know,
I mean, I guess but I've met some autistic people, and they're very it's.
We should definitely clarify that. Not all autistic people are not a fucking like mono thing. They're like different like everybody. But there have been, but yeah, they're spectrum. But we know that in tech, a lot of them are autistic because they're really focused on their shit. You know, that's why they get hired. So that's why I'm not too surprised with this. That's something one of my former editors says, like, yeah, a lot of the people that he had working for him when he was like a game developer, a lot of them were autistic because they kind of have not all autistic people, but certain people that are autistic have that ultra focus that like a regular person doesn't,
yeah, no, there are definitely autism superpowers, and you can be. And that's why I'm like, I can see why the autism would help him with the hacking. But to put somebody in a hospital and be like, oh, he's just really autistic.
That's the shit that fucks me up. You know?
Like, that's not a hospital. That sounds like you put somebody in a hospital for. That's not for their safety, at least.
Brett, check this out. The judge said that the kid's skills and desire to commit cybercrime meant he remained a high risk to the public.
Dude, they are straight up, Bond villain.
Yeah,
that's some Watch Dogs kind of shit.
Yeah, he will remain at a secure hospital for life unless doctors deem him no longer a danger. Fuck.
What? Oh, God, dude.
Don't mess with Rockstar, bruh. They'll fuck you up.
Jesus.
God damn, that's crazy.
That's like the worst. I mean, like that feels like worst case scenario. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to have like somebody cut your brakes. It is another thing to have somebody be like, "Yep, we're just gonna just circumvent the law and put you in a padded room for the rest of your life." Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Brett, this story gets crazier.
Put a bullet in me, Jesus.
This is getting crazier. Okay, check this out. Doctors deemed Kotick, that's his name, deemed that he was unfit to stand trial due to his severe autism. So the jury was asked to determine whether or not he committed the alleged acts, not if he did so with criminal intent.
What? Whoa. What do you mean? He was too autistic to stand trial?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Maybe he can like talk. I don't know.
He can't talk, but he can have like something smells.
Yeah. Like I said, this is some fishy stuff, man. A mental health assessment used as part of the sentencing hearing said that he continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime. Okay, so he does talk. He continued to express the intent to return to cybercrime as soon as possible. He is highly motivated.
Okay.
Oh,
I didn't now do it again.
Yeah, maybe.
I will hack into this system without you knowing.
Apparently, this wasn't his first rodeo. The jury was told that while he was on bail for hacking NVIDIA and BT/EE and in police protection at a Travelodge hotel, he continued hacking and carried out his most infamous hack. So, fuck, my man. So he's just.
This is in the UK,
hacker. Right? Yes, this is the UK.
Damn, UK.
I will make them pay.
So he's just an ultra hacker.
I will hack the universe with this calculator and a cup of water.
Despite having his laptop confiscated, he managed to breach Rockstar, the company behind GTA, using an Amazon Fire Stick, his hotel, and a mobile phone. Hotel TV, holy shit. This dude, he's a genius. Like, wow.
Yeah, he didn't need a computer.
That's some fucking... Wow, dude.
Like I said, that's some Kevin Mitnick sort of stuff.
That's
MacGyver, man. You know?
No, that's a fucking Tony Stark in the cave.
Right? Dude. Yo, give me that piece of metal in the well. I'm gonna make this suit real quick.
With scraps.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Amazon Fire Stick, a TV, and a fucking phone. That's all he needed.
Man, that's crazy, man. And, you know, if you guys, the first thing, when I saw the headline, the first thing that came to my mind is like if you guys have seen the movie One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, damn.
Dude, here's the part that gets me. Like, you know with that kind of talent, they immediately tried to scout this motherfucker. Like, they went to him and been like, you can use your power for good. Join us. And we will reward you greatly. And apparently, according to this, his response was, fuck you, I'll do it again. And I fucking love that.
That's what it seems like. Yeah, you're right, because usually, like, when some of these guys, like, find out the nuclear codes and shit, they give them a job, you know?
Yeah, you know, they're just like, wait, you breached through Rockstar security with an Amazon Fire Stick in your phone? Fuck, dude! Like, you want to why would you not offer that? You have to offer that guy a job. You have to try and scout him. And the fact that in the court reporting it says he expressed intent to do it again, I fucking love it. So he went like, shove it up your ass.
Yep. Damn, I almost have to respect this guy, man. That's some.
I do.
Shit.
I respect the fuck out of this guy, and they disappeared him, and that's fucking like, as Tony said. Don't fuck with Rockstar, man.
Don't do it.
Holy shit.
Don't do it.
It's like he's a criminal. He deserves to be punished. I respect him in a way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That's how it is. Yeah, he deserves to be punished, but I can respect. You know, fuck.
Fire Stick.
Yeah, Fire Stick, a TV, and a fucking phone. That's something, man. That's something. All right, completely switching gears now. Talk about the Nintendo Switch. Switching gears. Look at me, man, making puns without knowing it. You know.
But I'm pissed.
All right, so this is all rumor stuff. This is stuff that all happened this week. That apparently, I'm reading this from fucking Kotaku. The successor of the Nintendo Switch could arrive as soon as next year, cost $400, and be more of a quote iterative upgrade rather than a revolution. That's according to the CEO of a Tokyo-based video game consultancy firm who recently spoke with Game Industry Biz. The Nintendo Switch originally launched for $300. Whatever, I'm not reading all this shit. The other interesting part was like they're gonna start charging $70 for the games. They already did that with Zelda, So basically,
what do you mean start?
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They started with Zelda, yeah. But yeah, so this would be $100 more than the current Switch, which I guess makes sense. But it's like, how much more power is this shit gonna have?
Well, they're going a Game Boy route with this.
Yeah, it's just this thing's probably gonna be as powerful as the PS4, maybe.
Man, when it comes out, if it comes out this year or next year,
this year, I guess, right? Because it's 2024 now. Yeah.
Yep. That's 4 years after the PS4 technically. Well, I mean, it wasn't decommissioned, but we moved on from that generation. So it better be, in my opinion, it better be better than the PS4.
Yeah, it says Nintendo might add some bells and whistles to the device, but it will be similar to the current Switch. So, go ahead, Brett.
I said, "Oh, Mike's Day."
Yeah, but again, we all kind of know that they're going to stick with the whole hybrid stuff. They're not moving away from that.
Yes,
they saw it was successful. They're doing it again, so that's not surprising there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it sticking the same formula in terms of it being a hybrid console, and as long as the internals are adequate and those freaking Joy-Cons are better, then I'm fine. But the Joy-Con boys, and it's like, because the first iteration, the one that I have, it's just the Joy-Cons are just horrendous, especially for people that have medium to large hands. It just doesn't feel right.
These hands.
Yeah, this is with these hands, man, and obviously the internals. I was playing, Tears of the Kingdom last year. Played like 10 to 15 hours of it. And, it's just a shame because I know the game is great. It just looks like shit.
Yeah, you don't want to mess with that, man. What kind of chip are they using? A Tegra chip, right? Currently?
Tegra,
yes. God. What company makes that?
NVIDIA.
Okay, I said NVIDIA. Okay, so what's interesting about that is, because I wasn't sure. I was like, is it NVIDIA? Because now we're seeing a lot of the, proper handhelds use AMD chips. So
yes.
Do you think Nintendo would ever make the switch over to AMD, or are they going to stick with NVIDIA?
Make the what? Make the what, Tony?
Make the switch. So yeah, Carlos, what do you think, man? You think they would ever go to AMD instead? Because again, that AMD, the Ryzen chips are pretty much, they're in the fucking the Asus ROG Ally, they're the Lenovo Legion Go, and even our beloved Steam Deck has an older AMD chip on it, in it. So yeah, what do you think? You think they might switch over?
I mean, AMD is definitely would be a cheaper option for them. I don't know if they would do it, just because if they're going to keep this continuity with the original Switch. Having at least a similar architecture would be beneficial for them. And remember when the Switch 1 came out, it was the X1 chip. Yeah. The X1 chip, the X2 chip came out, I think, around when the Switch came out.
Yeah.
Or maybe even a little bit before. So they were even behind then.
Yeah, they were dated when they launched. They could have waited. They could have waited for the X2, or maybe even gotten it sooner or whatever, right? But Nintendo chose a cheaper option. But I think you're right about compatibility, because the other rumor we've been hearing, and this would be very kind of against the grain for Nintendo, but apparently there will be backwards compatibility with Switch. So if they want to do that, you can't switch processors. So
you can't switch the processor.
Yeah, so I think if I were to put my money on it, obviously Nintendo goes by the beat of their own drum. But if I were to put money on them, I would put maybe 70% they stay with Nvidia.
Yeah, I agree. But again, because Nintendo never does, the correct thing. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you think is a smart thing for the company to do, think the opposite, and that's what they're going to do instead.
Yeah.
Literally, Nintendo.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes.
And ironically, one of their dumb things they did was the Wii U, and they just stumbled across their best ideas to make the Switch.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like,
I don't think they against it. I think they backed into it when everything else failed. They're like, what are we doing that's succeeding? Our handheld? Let's do that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, it was because of the Wii U, because of what everybody thought the Wii U was going to be. Yeah. Everybody saw that tablet thing and thought, oh, hey, it's a gaming console. It's a tablet. And they're like, no, that's not the console. It's this other thing. This is just a controller.
Yeah. No, both of you are actually right about that. It's that aspect that's like people thought the Wii U was, the actual console. And also Nintendo was like, hey, what's actually successful for us? Our handheld.
Yeah.
So it was definitely both of those things.
There's definitely credence in both.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, the reason I say that is like Nintendo fanboys are gonna hate me more for this, but like everybody wants to fucking celebrate Nintendo's, kind of they're like, oh man, they really like. Don't get me wrong, I liked the Switch. I bought the Switch. I advocated for the Switch, but this whole idea that they fucking knocked it out of the park with this genius thing because they're a brilliant company that is on the edge of what people want. Like, fuck that noise. They failed so hard that they closed an entire division of their company and then backed up and doubled down on the one thing that they were successful on. Don't fucking throw them a parade for failing half their company into the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean, at the end of the day, they're the thing that propelled the Switch even more than the actual idea of a Switch is they're always their first party.
Yeah,
because they always, man, it's the true factory. We talk about the Insomniac factory, the Nintendo factory is freaking nuts.
Yeah. By the way, I had to bring this thing out because Sony's repeating Nintendo's mistakes. It's like, this thing. By the way, shout out to Frankie B. We're having a discussion about the for you guys listening. I just pulled out the PlayStation Portal. He likes it, but I think it's a waste of money. But it depends on your living situation, I guess.
Yeah,
because like he says that nice. I think he lives in a big house or whatever, so he likes being able to just play his PlayStation wherever. I'm like, I live in a studio apartment, bro. I could just turn on my TV, turn on PlayStation. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
And this thing doesn't even fucking work outside. Okay, Carlos, correct me. You were playing Spider-Man 2 on your iPad in New York, right?
Yes.
With remote play, right?
Yes.
This has remote play, and I can't do that.
What?
No, dude, I took this to the office. It wouldn't fucking work.
Yeah, because it doesn't have a web browser.
It's insane. Meanwhile, somebody, the Backbone 1? Basically,
yes.
So somebody literally took the fucking iPhone, stuck it on, and it instantly launched the PlayStation app that you could the remote play app instantly.
Right.
So I'm like, wait, remote play works on these other devices, but not on this thing. What?
Wow.
That doesn't make any sense.
Also, it doesn't play any of your it doesn't do any digital games. So like if you have any sort of digital games, it only just does remote play.
Yeah, so it's just a remote play machine. But the thing is, even that is fucked up. Even the remote play doesn't work. So what are we doing here?
At least give us a Minesweeper or
something. This thing is a brick outside of your home. It's insane, man. Anyway, go ahead.
The people that were hyping it, man,
and that are still hyping it.
We know why.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know. And it sucks because this thing could have been cool, even though I don't like streaming shit. If remote play worked as intended, this thing I could at least see that. You know, you can't even take this shit outside, bro.
It's got a nicely sized screen. It's got the dual.
They feel good. This ain't Joy-Cons, baby. These are real fucking controls, you know. And the build is nice and shit. This is cool, but it's like, again, my thing is like, okay, remote play is working on third-party devices, and it doesn't work on a Sony device. What? What?
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
And how did you when you were testing it? Did you just test the speakers? You didn't try to do like a headset or anything like that? Or
I just tested it with just the regular speakers. There is a headphone jack on this, I believe.
There is no. Is it? I don't know if it has a headphone jack. I think it has that.
You're right.
It has that. It connects directly to those new headphones.
No, the shit doesn't have a fucking headphone jack.
Yeah.
Wait. There it is. There it is.
As I remember, it is the only device so far that connects directly to those new.
There's only two devices headsets that work with this thing that are compatible with it, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But no, it does have a headphone jack. There it is. But yeah, it's like, come on, what the fuck are we doing? That's also where the USB-C charging. All right. Anyway, let's move on here. An analyst. And this is one of the things I hope is true because some analysts are full of shit sometimes. An analyst from market research company Newzoo believes that game industry biz. They talked to a bunch of analysts and just asked them their general predictions for 2024. So this is one of the guys they pulled from that article. I'm reading this from PlayStation Lifestyle. An analyst from market research company Newzoo believes that 2024 will mark the end of live service games' domination. That isn't to say that live service games won't be popular, but analyst Tom Wichman thinks they've reached market saturation and might not be as lucrative for game companies as they used to be. Yeah, no shit, Game sales continue to be dominated by live service titles as players spend on the likes of EA Sports FC, FIFA, for you guys who don't know, Fortnite, and Call of Duty. However, there's been an influx of games as a service in recent years, with many high-profile developers seeing their games flop in what Watchmen described to game industry biz as a, quote, fiercely competitive market, end quote. As a result, he reckons some studios will pivot back to premium game development. Yeah, again, I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Sony's fucking, what is it now, 8 live service games? It was 10 before, or 12, I don't know. It was a lot. Sony Interactive Entertainment had a rude awakening with its recent push towards live service. Under outgoing CEO Jim Ryan's leadership, a number of studios were tasked with games as a service projects, some of which have already been canceled, including Insomniac Games' Spider-Man multiplayer and Naughty Dog's multiplayer The Last of Us. Wichman pointed out that only a handful of live service games are, quote, monopolizing playtime, as evidence in Sony's 2023 gaming stats for PS5 and PS4. Well, I haven't seen those stats. But yeah, I hope this guy's right. This live service shit needs to go. It needs to go. This is fucking bullshit. Tired of it already, All right. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add to that, we'll move on. All right. More, again, a lot of rumor shit because not a lot happened this week. Another rumor that's going around is that there will be an Xbox Developer Direct this month in January. Excuse me. This was a leak. Oh, I guess we're reporting on this one. We're reporting on this one.
Well, what are you talking about, Tony? We can't talk about that.
Don't do it, Tony.
My God.
Think of the children.
Right? Anyway, so yeah, there's the leak, alleged leak says that we're gonna get a Xbox Developer Direct this month, and apparently something big will be announced.
Oh, what's the big?
A game?
What's the
game?
A game? Not whatever the hell Kojima's doing.
Yeah, just a game. Period.
The game. That's
so apparently, it's according to the leak, this is going to go down on January 25th. Brett, that's your birthday.
It is.
Weird. And I know that because that's our boy Mike's birthday too, you know? This leak comes courtesy of prominent leaker. I can't pronounce that fucking name. Their post includes a promotional graphic for the event. Damn. Oh shit, that's crazy. Okay, so ooh, if he got hands on a promotional graphic, that kind of legitimizes shit. Includes a promotional graphic for the event with the date plus YouTube and Twitch symbols to watch it live. Uh-oh. Oh boy. This is not official as of writing. Microsoft has not confirmed. Obviously, they haven't confirmed it. Last year's promotional art teased the inclusion of developers Ninja Theory, Mojang, Turn 10, Arcane Studios. The 2024 promotional art shared by Ecstatic, I guess, includes developer Ninja Theory, Obsidian, Stoic, and Oxide. Okay, that makes sense. You know. But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait until January 25th. See what's up. You know, but, you know, what could they show? Maybe Hi-Fi Rush 2? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows, man? It's not confirmed to be a Shadow drop release exactly like Hi-Fi Rush, but it's possible. Okay, yeah. I mean, that'd be fun if we get another Shadow like drop like that, you know? Because then that did happen last year, right? It was like they had this developer thing. It's like, hey, this game, Hi-Fi Rush, it's available now.
Yep, that's what they did last year.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get it again. All right, and the last story of the night. Told you not too much happened while we were off, and this week, because this week was, you know, New Year's and all that. There's an Xbox Series S toaster, hence the name of this episode. I wish I was making this up, you know. So yeah, there, you know, I'm gonna read this. I read this from The Verge. Shout out to Tom Warren. Have you ever wanted a kitchen full of memes? Well, the Xbox Series S toaster is here and ready to sit next to your Xbox Series X fridge, which is also a real thing. Yes, this is a real toaster that can handle all the bread, English muffins, and frozen waffles you can throw at it. It will even toast an Xbox Sphere logo onto your bread. Really? Oh, man. Images of an Xbox Series S toaster first emerged nearly a year ago on French websites, but Walmart has now started selling the toaster for $39.99, as spotted by Wario64. Shout out to Wario64. While the toaster looks like an Xbox Series S with its signature black air vent, it also includes a bunch of features you'd actually want for toasting your bread. There are 6 levels of browning, a removable crumb tray, an LED countdown, and a defrost button. But the main star of the show is obviously the ability to imprint the Xbox logo into your bread like a real gamer.
It's the ability, so you don't have to do that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. You
okay,
make regular ass toast if you want. Oh man,
I prefer regular ass toast personally.
Yeah, this isn't the first toaster made for gamers, though. Bungie released a Destiny themed toaster a couple years ago, complete with a function to burn Destiny's tricorn logo into your bread. Razer also promised it would make its April Fool's Day joke toaster a reality, but that never happened. The Xbox Series S toaster joins the Xbox Series X mini fridge that was born from memes that mocked the console's fridge-like look. I'm personally waiting for Microsoft to branch out into a full home appliance range. There's plenty of room in a kitchen for an Xbox microwave, kettle, or a washing machine. After all, any true Xbox fan will want all of their food imprinted with the Xbox logo and their clothes dyed green after every wash.
I gotta say though, like all things considered, this is probably the best way that I can think to react to all of the memeing and talking shit. Right? Like all of this looks like a fridge, so they're like, all right, here's a fridge. Like, that's the best response.
Yeah. Yeah, Xbox has done a good job of that. It's like, you know, remember when Halo Infinite was first released, like, yo, what's up with that one weird looking grunt? Like, oh yeah, that guy's name is Craig, you know? Then I became a meme, you know? And it's like, yo, why does this shit look like a fridge? Because it is a fridge. But I never heard anyone say it looks like a toaster. That's the first one for me. But yeah, other than that, it looks like a pretty standard toaster, you know?
I gotta say, this would be a cruel gift to give a child on Christmas.
Yeah, shit. You mean aside from an Xbox?
I was about to say an Xbox Series S or the toaster.
Okay, so interestingly enough, my brother-in-law picked up a Xbox Series S or Series X about 4 months ago, and then just recently got a PS5. So it's been really interesting watching him play the two kind of simultaneously. And he came to me this week and he's like, "Yo, what's up with PlayStation's UI? This shit is trash." And I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, you kind of get used to it, except you never really do. You always hit the wrong button, but it just is what it is, man."
That's why Adam stopped playing on PlayStation. He went back to Xbox.
It's so bad. It's so bad when you compare it to anything else. It's usable, sure, but like I feel like it was good at one point, but it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. Maybe they'll get it right again because PlayStation had the same problem. By the way, speaking about Xbox and shit, or just consoles and shit, did you guys see that video? So this girl, she looked like she was like 12 or 13 or something. She's with her family unwrapping presents. She unwraps one, PlayStation 5. She's happy as fuck. Then her basset hound comes right next to her, takes a big steaming shit, and walks away. It's like,
you saw that, yeah, dude. Her going from excitement to like, what the fuck, in like 2.5 seconds. Beautiful. It's great.
Yeah. Hating ass dog. He's like, man, it should have been an Xbox. The girl's reaction, she was just like, did that just happen? Did that just happen? And my thing is like, did they not walk the dog that morning? Like, why would the dog just do that? It's crazy.
I mean, it is Christmas, so people forget things.
That's what I'm thinking. They just forgot to walk the dog that morning. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm taking a dump right here. In front of the whole family, the dog just takes a shit. It was great.
I'm guessing the dog wasn't used to a bunch of people and excitement and reacted poorly.
Yeah, but you're right. Maybe it's like a new dog and shit,
I'm just like, I'm not used to 9 people over here yelling and tearing things up. I don't know what to do, so I'm just going to take a shit.
Yeah, I mean, that I've seen that before, So,
that tracks with dog logic, I'm saying.
Yeah, it does, yeah. So it could be that, But I like thinking that it's just a hating-ass dog, Xbox fanboy. He wanted to literally shit on her parade.
Fucking PlayStation users.
Oh, man. All right, so that's going to do it for us. So a couple of things here. So I will actually not be on for the next 2 episodes, people. Because your boy's going to Vegas for CES. First time going. Hopefully. So apparently now there's a storm coming, a snowstorm. I'm like, don't deny me a third time, man. Don't deny me a third time, But yeah, so, Manny and Carlos, you hold things down because I'm flying out on Sunday. And I'm coming back on Thursday, which are Throwdown days. So I'll be back. It probably won't have time to, check in. But yeah, hopefully some stuff will happen. And another cool thing that's going to happen when I'm out there, I'm going to try to link up with Mr. Torrance Davis, who is also going to CES. So it should be good. I talked to Torrance right before the vacation. He's doing good, man. I again, and it's funny because last year, the first episode of the year when we came back was Torrance. And yeah, Torrance is still, you can hear it, man. The guy is very happy, He's in a good spot right now,
That's good, man.
Yes, that's what happens when you leave the game industry, I guess,
You should know, Tony.
Yeah, that's true, I mean, I got a promotion,
Whoa!
That never happened in gaming,
No.
Which is pretty cool. So yeah, 2024, throw it on his back. And like Brett said, we ain't taking no breaks till the end of the year, So hopefully we won't be talking about acquisitions this time around. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Maybe we'll actually get to talk about games. I got to add this in real quick, man. Okay, you guys know that game Stellar Blade, right? That Korean game with the girl with the nice ass and stuff. So when that game was announced, I think it was like a year or 2 ago, right? The usual suspects were like, oh, like that girl, like look at that girl, so unrealistic. Women don't look like that. This week, someone posted the model that the game character is based on. She looks exactly like that. Ain't that something? The exact same body. Ain't that something? Because how like Western developers, they like to scan like women and then just make them ugly. Asian
Hey,
developers.
that reality is unrealistic, Tony.
Yeah, Asian developers like, okay, just scan her, just put her in the game. Ain't that something? So Stellar Blade, I think that's coming out relatively soon for PlayStation 5. People are hyped for obvious reasons. So yeah, it should be interesting. Your Final Fantasy's coming. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Hopefully we'll get Senua's Sacrifice 2 or Senua's Saga. So yeah, Throwdown's back, baby. We are back, and hopefully we'll have another good year of gaming, man. Carlos, what's going on with I Am Negan?
It's still on hiatus. Still waiting for the Rick and Michonne show to come back.
Oh,
and
shit.
Once that happens, we'll be back with Adam Bale. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on with that. The bug, man, is going on everywhere. But I don't know. Gotta have some. Yeah, Richard Bailey Jr., Adam Bale. Hopefully, we'll get back to I Am Negan early 2024, probably around February. I think that's when the show's coming back. So stay tuned.
Good stuff, man. And yes, as you see, we are now streaming again on Twitch and YouTube. We are back. And even right now, as we're doing this, there's actually more people watching us on YouTube. A little bit more. Those numbers may be crawling back to what they used to be. So we'll see about that, I'm at a point where even if because we're following the rules, but if Twitch decides we're not affiliates anymore, okay, whatever. This fucking platform now, they're just letting full on porn on there. Have you seen this shit? These girls, these naked girls and stuff. It's like, yo, and they're like, oh, this is what do they call it? Artistic nudes. That's what they're calling it. Okay,
they walked back. They walked back on all that stuff like the day after.
Yeah, hilarious. But then they kind of, I don't know. But it's like if you could put bars over the titties or something. It's like it's weird. Some weird shit, man. I don't know what's going on with Twitch. It's like, you're not OnlyFans. Stop it. Focus. Let me stop. I guess I'm saying shit to get us kicked off this platform. But yes, we're back on YouTube. It should be good. I'm not seeing any comments on here, Carlos. I don't know if it's something on my end. I'm only seeing Twitch comments.
Yeah, YouTube hasn't had that many comments.
That's why. I did see something. Father's son, he said something.
Yeah, he did. So he's good. He's like about time, and he dropped us a couple bucks. So
did he? He did a super chat.
Yes, he did.
Oh shit! Super chats are back. Good stuff. Mop Hits didn't show up with the bits though, but it's all good.
Oh,
I wonder where some of the usual suspects were tonight. Jay Shep, Dumeke.
They're probably They're probably too busy playing some games.
What games? Ain't no games right now.
There's some games, man. You got lots of games that just came out this last year. You can't play them all.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe they're playing games.
Maybe playing games.
Yeah. Anyway, man. Awesome. Yeah. All right. So make sure you follow Throwdown on Twitch and Twitter. Join the Discord where the conversations and the rumors are always popping. You can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show. That's towards Throwdown Show, throwdownshow.com to listen to past episodes. And obviously, you guys have been watching us live on YouTube, so make sure you hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of when we go live. No premieres. We just go live, baby. And yeah, links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you next time.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
And Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
Right, guys. We'll see you on Sunday. Later.